Imagine this. You're 9 years old, full of questions, full of hope. You're sitting in a classroom, the very place designed to prepare you for life, and you ask the simplest, most fundamental question: when am I going to learn about money? The smile, the dismissal. It was a moment that would haunt me, a moment that exposed the deepest, most dangerous secret about our education system. The answer, it was chilling. We don't teach the subject of money in school. That moment, decades ago, launched a lifelong obsession, an obsession to understand why the most critical life skill, managing your money, building wealth, achieving true freedom, is completely ignored by the very institutions we trust to prepare you. They teach you algebra, they teach you history, they teach you to memorize facts for a test. But when it comes to the very thing that dictates your freedom, your future, your ability to live a life of choice, not compromise, silence, deafening silence. For most of us, this is the devastating truth. We graduate diploma in hand, ready to conquer the world, only to realize we've been handed a map to a battlefield we don't understand, armed with the wrong weapons. My life was shaped by two fathers. My poor dad, highly educated, head of education, an academic elite. He believed in the traditional path. Go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, work hard. He lived by the rules the system taught him. And then there was my rich dad, my best friend's father. No fancy degrees, no academic titles, but he was a master of the real world game. He taught me about selling, about assets, about using debt wisely, about true financial freedom. The difference between them, it came down to two pieces of paper. My poor dad thought his college diploma was everything. My rich dad knew his financial statement was everything. And that, my friends, is the first, good trenching truth most people never grasp. What truly makes you rich isn't a piece of paper from a university. It's the story told by your financial statement. When I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad in 1997, it was revolutionary. It had to be self-published because every major publisher laughed me out of the room. They said, "You don't know what you're talking about." Today, it's in over 50 languages, still selling millions. Why? Because it spoke the unspoken truth. It challenged the sacred cows of financial dogma. Take savers or losers. People got angry. Saving money is a religion for many. But why would you save money when governments and central banks are literally printing trillions into existence? Your savings, your hard-earned cash, is being devalued, eroded, stolen, right before your eyes. And the second lesson, the rich don't work for money. This isn't about being lazy. It's about understanding how to use DEB to buy assets. Assets that put money into your pocket, whether you work or not. This is the ultimate financial hack they pray you never discover. My journey wasn't just about money, it was about purpose. In 1967, I hitchhiked to Expo 67, the World's Fair in Montreal. I went because of my poor dad's favorite teacher, a Buckminster Fuller, a visionary. Fuller asked us a profound question in 1981. What does God want done? In 1994, Kim and I achieved financial freedom. For the first time, we had the luxury to ask ourselves, what do we really want to do with our lives? We didn't want to just tell people what we did. We wanted to empower them to do it themselves. So we created a tool, an artifact, a game, the Cashflow board game. It's brilliant because it tricks you into learning. You're having fun, you're competing, you're laughing, and secretly, you're learning the most powerful financial lessons of your life. You're learning about assets, liabilities, income, expenses. You're learning to get out of the rat race. We found out something incredible. People all over the world, in every country imaginable, were getting together. They were forming Cashflow clubs. Over 3,500 clubs globally. People teaching people, cooperating, learning together. This is the culture of my rich dad. A capitalist culture, yes, but also a culture of generosity, of respect. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, smart or stupid, a PhD or a high school dropout. You come to learn. You come to transform. We realized these clubs weren't just games. They were fulfilling the very mission of the Rich Dad Company, to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. How do we do it? We keep financial education simple. No jargon, no complicated formulas. We make it fun. That's why we have games. We use real teachers, not just academics, but people who have actually done it. And crucially, we foster people teaching people. Then, in 2000, the phone rang. It was Oprah Winfrey. My heart was pounding out of my chest. Suddenly, I went from being an unknown author to walking on stage with arguably the most famous, most powerful woman on earth. She loved Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and right after that, a call from Mr. Donald Trump. We partnered to write Why We Want You to Be Rich. Forbes defines rich as $1 million a year in passive income you get whether you work or not. But why is there no middle class anymore? Because the tax laws are written against the middle class. We can't change the laws overnight, but we can change people. Remember the Sunday school lesson. If you give a person a fish, you feed them for a day. That's what we're doing all over the world today, giving people fish, handouts, and it only creates more poor people. Why don't we do what I was taught in Sunday school? Teach people to fish, and not just to fish, but to be an entrepreneur, to create jobs. More entrepreneurs means less unemployment, more prosperity. It's time we teach people about money. When I was 9, my rich dad taught me about wealth by playing Monopoly. I didn't understand it then, but he told me, games are the best teachers in the world. Games engage all 4 intelligences. As Maria Montessori said, what the hand does, the mind remembers. The difference between cash flow and Monopoly is this: the financial statement. My banker has never asked me for my report card. When you graduate, the banker wants to see one thing: your financial statement. Most people don't even know what it is, let alone how to read one. If you don't know where you stand financially, where your cash is coming from or going, how can you ever succeed? The poor and middle class work for a paycheck. They work for money. They chase high income. What the rich work for are assets. Rich Dad is one of the only companies that teaches you how a financial statement works, so you can see if you're truly getting richer or poorer, even without a college diploma. Here's the terrifying reality facing us right now. Artificial intelligence and technology are going to keep accelerating, and what that means for millions is unemployment. Think about it. 3.5 million truck drivers in America today. In 10 years, they won't need them. The idea of go to school, get a job for job security, is not just obsolete, it's a dangerous lie. Low-end, repetitive jobs, they will all be automated. AI is about automating current jobs that are not cost-effective, that have tons of human error. Technology will replace them. In the last decade alone, between 2010 and 2020, the number of millionaires in America went up by 5 times, but in that exact same period, 10 million people lost their jobs. The rich got richer, and the poor got poorer. So, who pays the most taxes? What did school teach you about taxes? For most people, taxes are their single largest expense. Which would you rather be? Stuck in the rat race, working hard, paying massive taxes, or come over to the rich dad's side and pay 0 in taxes, ... legally? For all you millennials, for every single person out there, if you can't get rich with this, hang it up. This is the most powerful entrepreneur's tool I have ever seen. But if you think like an employee, like my poor dad, this is no help to you. My friends, many of them, went to college, chasing that safe and secure job, only to graduate and find it doesn't exist anymore. We were taught to think so small, not to think bigger. If your passion is to be a dentist, that's wonderful. But why are we not taught that you can own the dentist office, be the entrepreneur, not just an employee? When it comes to money, what worked for your parents and your grandparents does not work today. The rules of money have changed dramatically, and they keep changing at an accelerating, dizzying pace. The key is to get smarter, to get financially educated, to increase your financial IQ. That's why the Rich Dad Company was formed. That's why we created the Cashflow board game. That's why Rich Dad, Poor Dad was written. It is our passion, our mission, to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. So I ask you again, with all the seriousness I can muster, what did school teach you about money? And if, like me, the answer was nothing, then maybe it's time to consider a different path. Maybe it's time to join a Cashflow club. Dedicate some time to learn what my rich dad taught me. It's not just a game, it's a culture of capitalism, yes, but more importantly, a culture of generosity, a culture of shared learning. Because whether you like it or not, we all use money every single day. It impacts every aspect of our lives. Don't let ignorance rule your destiny. Don't wait for a system that was never designed to truly educate you financially. The world is changing. Are you ready to change with it? Take control of your financial future. Discover the hidden lessons. Join millions worldwide who are breaking free.